Samuel Eto'o is the greatest African player of all time.
Drogba ended a civil war.
I commend him for that, and they should have gave him a Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, but not a Ballon d'Or though. Like when you start talking about goals, because you want to hold them up in such high regard.
No, you don't do that. You came here, sat on that chair, and brought me goals, bro.
Joe presents In Defense Of, brought to you by Betpool.
Stepping up to the away end today is a guy that says, when he dies, bury me in the Stretford end. I don't want him to die too soon. Not today anyway. East London's finest, my friend, Margs.
Come on,
Woo!
man. Let's go.
Huh?
Yeah, I like that. That's a big one.
Okay, thank you. Bruv, bury me in the Stretford end. Would you really want to be buried at a football stadium?
Okay, if not buried, then just take my remains and sprinkle them.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
United for life.
deep.
Me, Sir Alex.
You real United fan? I ain't seen you go there for a long time or ever.
I have gone there. I've got receipts, but COVID and stuff, innit?
Okay. Good
COVID,
excuse. Good excuse.
And then I've been busy working, so I haven't had the time. But I'll be there soon.
How you been though?
I've been good, man. Just been trying to be like you, man.
Yeah, what's that mean?
Just successful and beautiful, man.
Thank you. I am beautiful. I ain't gonna lie, it's the smile. So you know what we do on the show?
Yes.
What are you here to debate, bruv?
Listen, today I'm here to tell you, forget Salah, forget Drogba. Samuel Eto'o is the greatest African player of all time. These are facts. This ain't even my opinion. This is just what it is.
All football's opinions.
No.
All football's opinions. But obviously...
Accolades.
Whoa. Before you go there,
Go on.
you can go to the podium and you can say everything you was going to say there. You got up to 60 seconds to bring some points. I'll say mine, then we come back and then we have our discussion.
All right,
yeah?
then, fair enough. That works for me.
Let's do this. I like this one.
I'm going to tell you why Samuel Eto'o is the greatest African player of all time. Firstly, we got the eye test, natural ability, style and grace, pace, power, finishing, movement, football IQ. Then we've got the accolades, personal stats, goals, 1 and 2 everywhere he's been for the most part of his career. We've got 4 African Players of the Year, Young African Player of the Year. We've got, 3 Champions Leagues, 3 La Ligas, a Serie A, 2 Copa del Reys. I mean, I don't think there's anybody out there who you can hold up to him. He is the greatest. He is an he's all-time top goal scorer in African nations. He's even finished head of assists in the Champions League before. You're not going to find no one better than Samuel Eto'o. He's the greatest African player of all time. And I think I rest my case.
Margs, you bring a great debate to the table. And listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Samuel Eto'o, but start the clock. You talk about accolades. Now, he's got a lot of accolades and he's a great player, but are you forgetting George Weah, the only African player to win the Ballon d'Or? This geezer, not only is he a great player and he's got all the attributes that you said, but he's also gone on to do things great for humanity, which for me is an important thing. But let's step aside from that. Let's name a few other great players. JJ Okocha. He taught Ronaldinho how to do football, bruv. When I say do football, I mean samba style. The African taught the Brazilian how to samba. That's JJ Okocha. Then you've got Didier Drogba. Bruv, he's the greatest clutch player of all time. Now, Samuel Eto'o is a great player, but I don't remember him scoring in 10 finals. And if you want to bring it up to modern times, talking about speed, pace, agility, all of that, Mo Salah. The guy's currently doing it now, and he's got all the accolades and all the attributes you want. But listen, let's talk about it, Margs. So, Margs, how do you define the greatest? Is it what they do on the pitch? Is it their character? Is it legacy? Like, what do you do? How do you define it, man?
I try not to use off-the-pitch stuff because I think that's unfair. And I just think you have to combine ability, stats, personal, individual accolades, and group accolades as obviously like winners' medals, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And you combine all 3, and then that's how you get the greatest. Because they're the factual things that you can use as an argument if you're going to put up against someone. How does my resume compare to yours?
Out of all the great African players to choose from, why Samuel Eto'o?
Because for me personally, maybe it's just personal preference, but I think he's the coldest. You know what I'm trying to say? So obviously, like the eye test, his ability is through the roof, and I think the only person who's kind of running him close for me personally is probably say someone like Yaya. If we're just talking about styles and how they play football, the way they look and his shape.
So when we're saying ability, we're saying like, so what was his strengths? I know goal scoring was his strengths. Could he pass? I'm asking this just to get an answer.
Well,
Really.
yeah, he could pass. So he led Champions League in assists one season, so he could definitely do something. You know what I'm trying to say? Like finishing, like movement, like just what's in between these airs is dope. You know, like I see strikers, I see people saying sometimes like, oh yeah, striker never scored, he wasn't getting fed, there was no support and stuff like that. Yeah, you see, like you're a real footballer, you know what go on.
Yeah.
The runs dictate the passes.
Yeah.
So if you're not moving, you're not going to get fed. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't think it's on the midfield. It's usually on the strikers. And his movement, his running in behind is
He's
top
had some
tier.
good midfielders behind him, though, throughout his career.
Yes, but you've got to make
Some
the
of the
runs
greats.
for them to initiate.
I'm not one of them people that says that, oh, he's on a great team, that's why he does it, because he does it for Cameroon, he does it. I'm a fan of Eto'o, by the way, right? If we're talking about the greatest, yeah, surely you've got to have more than just football ability legacy. I'm saying, you know what, let's get the criteria. What's the criteria?
What is the criteria? Because we can't be talking about his attitude. That's impossible.
You can a bit.
Why?
Sorry.
It's not about being a role model. We said footballer, ball at feet, footballer. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So whether the criteria has to be either natural ability, like eye tests, comparing what you've seen to other people, or it has to be individual stats, goals and stuff, which he has a lot of, or it's accolades, which he also has a lot of.
You're right, but the other player, so let me bring a name into the mix. George Weah,
No Champions League.
Ballon d'Or. Point being, accolade.
Okay.
Goal scorer in AC Milan, top goal scorer. Paris Saint-Germain, top goal scorer.
Barca and Inter are top teams too.
No.
Serie A.
What I'm saying is we're matching now for accolades, right?
Yeah.
But then Giza goes on to be the Prime Minister of Libya.
Now, see, you're
It's
doing
a
too
different
much.
thing now, bro.
You're doing
The
too
people I'm
much.
bringing to the
This ain't
table
got
are
nothing to do with football. He's the Prime Minister of Liberia, so So are we saying he's the best or the greatest then? What are we saying?
Ooh, there you go. That's a good question.
Yeah, come on then, let's do that because they can be defined.
What are you saying? You brought it to my. Don't come to my gaff and then ask me what's the question. You tell me what is it then, because then we can.
I'm saying
Both.
both.
If I'm bringing other people to you, innit? So if I'm bringing George Weah to you, or I'm bringing a JJ Okocha, who, by the way, he was never as big statistically or anything like that. But when we're talking about the culture of football,
He's an icon.
he's an icon. He taught Ronaldinho how to play football. He babied Ronaldinho, who I know by being your friend is your favourite player of all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
facts.
JJ Okocha taught him how to play football.
Okay, cool. So even iconic status, like I think Weah's iconic. I think JJ Okocha's iconic, and they might be two of the most iconic African players. You get me? When you look at them, what they represent to you, and you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But that doesn't make you the best.
But we said both. We're now
Or
combining it.
Or greatest. They're icons.
So I'm listening to what you're saying, bro, because I don't want people to come on there and think that I'm just like hard of hearing, yeah? So you said accolades, goals, won every 2 games, this, that, the other. He can make a pass, he's sharp, does the forward runs, triggers, all of this. Mo Salah.
It's not enough, is it?
What? A minute ago it was enough.
No, because obviously you're just talking about when you're Salah, you're just talking about goals. Because you can't.
No, I'm talking about Champions League wins.
One Champions League,
African Player of the Year recently.
one.
He's only been playing for a couple of years.
So we've got to stack them up. He's only been good for a couple of years. He's been playing for ages. Everything that we're talking about Mo Salah is talking about has lived since this time at Liverpool, innit? What's that been, 3-4 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in them 3-4 seasons, he scored a lot of goals. It's not just about goals, is it? It's not just about goals. You can't just forget his time at Roma, his spell at Chelsea. And
He
all
got
this
Roma
stuff.
Player of the Year at Roma.
That's nothing.
He batted it up at Florentina. Like,
didn't
people
get-
think
he
it's just
didn't-
now. It's not just now with Mo Salah, by the way.
He didn't get like Serie A Player of the Year. He got Roma Player of the Year. That was just his team. So he was just the best out of a bad bunch. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You feeling Salah? Do you think he's the greatest player in the world right now?
You're gonna make me say this on camera.
Yeah. You do think he's the greatest player in the world right now?
Currently,
Has Eto'o
on form, he's the best player in the world.
has
right now.
Eto'o ever been the best player in the world? I can answer that for you. No, he hasn't. He has never. I'm sorry. And if you're that good as you say, and you're in Champions League winning teams, treble winning teams, and you're the icing on the cake, and you're scoring over 100 goals, why aren't the rest of your players voting you as the best player in the world?
You brought up all these other names before, yeah. So with Salah's career, seeing how it's gone, yeah. So 3 good seasons scoring goals at Liverpool, yeah. That's enough for you to
Oh,
discredit.
no.
The Weahs,
No.
the
No. I'm bringing names to you.
Okochas.
Nope.
So what? The
He's there.
Eto'os.
Eto'o, he's spinning it on me. What are you doing?
I'm saying.
Eto'o's a good player, But I'm saying you brought to me accolades and
You're
goals.
you're
so I've
bringing me
brought
people
players.
that you think can test up to it. And I'm saying Salah can't hold up to it because it's just 3 seasons. It's just a good spell at one team. He's still playing, innit? That's what the problem is. He's still playing, yeah, and the rest of them ain't still playing. So we need to see what he's going to do with his career and not for even goals, how many more things he can win and what he can do, and then we can package it as a whole and compare it to the rest of them. As it stands, it's kind of incomparable. He shouldn't be on any list to be greatest African player as it stands.
Really?
If we say best African player at the moment, active, all right, cool. Or not even African player, just best player in the world at the moment, cool. But when you're talking about greatest and you're comparing what he's done at Liverpool to all the top boys' body of work, it's not even comparable at the minute.
Well, it's definitely comparable because if you took his 3 years and you said, okay, what's he done in the 3 years, meaning goals, accolades,
One Premier League, one.
And then you go and get someone that's had a 20-year career. If they can't amount to the 3 years, then surely the 3 years is better
one
than
Premier
that.
League and one Champions League. Eto'o done that in one season at Inter. Yeah? And then the season before that, he done it with Barca. Like, it's not comparable. And I think Salah's good, but I think when you're talking about greatness and you're doing all the players of all time, I don't think he deserves to be in the conversation with any of them yet. I think it's too soon.
I can't believe you would not disrespect Salah like this, but like disregard. And you said it's not even comparable. Bruv, up until now, he is the best African to have ever stepped into the Premier League goal scoring wise.
See, but that's just goals. But there's Africans who's done more than him while he's been there. Mahrez. Yeah, Margs is one of African nations. Margs is won the Premiership with Leicester, and he's won it with City. So fair enough, he hasn't got a Champions League or nothing like that. But it's comparable.
So you think
it's
people are
comparable.
gassed with Salah now?
Well, yeah, it's the goals, isn't it? It's because he's scoring at such a high clip. It's hard to ignore, isn't it? He's playing at such a high level, and he's playing in one of the best teams in the world currently, innit? So there's the spotlight shined on it. But if City won the Champions League, is Mahrez? What does that do about Mahrez? Mahrez has to overtake him. He's got more Prems. He's got a Champions League. He's got African nations. So he ain't got the goals. Fair enough, but he has to overtake him, surely, no?
I don't know. I wonder what the people think of that. But I don't know.
Come on, we got to be fair. Let's be fair.
You got me with that one, but I'm gonna take everything you've said, right, on ability. I'm going to bring in what I'm saying, transcending the sport of football. But I'm going to add something that not many people have ever had in the history of sport, let alone football. And that is a big game clutch player. And you know who the biggest, gamest, clutchiest player is? Didier Drogba. In my opinion, like in everyone's opinion, really,
He turns up.
this geezer has scored in 10 finals. More than anyone else, bro. And he's African, by the way. Yeah?
So then when you start talking about goals, because you want to hold them up in such high regard.
No, you don't do that. You came here, sat on that chair, and brought me goals, bro.
You told me how many goals Salah scored and what Salah's done. Drogba's goal record is not sensational.
Because I've done it because you done that. Yeah, because I'm one that, for me, I would rather have a player that I know probably won't score in 10 games, but in those 10 games, he's played probably 9s and man of the match performances because he's held up the ball, he's brought in, he's gone back for corners, defended for his team. He's been a hero.
Drogba's quality.
And Drogba's that guy. I can't say the same about Eto'o.
But do you think he's a like, okay, cool, so forget accolades, forget what they've done. You're gonna bring up civil wars and stuff. No.
You know I'm going there. No. Don't. Let's not go past it. Drogba ended a civil war, or it was at least a standstill for 5 years, bro. And people think I'm trolling when I say this, bro, but like footballer is attitude as well, bro. Massively. No, and I'm not taking it away
Drogba
from
was swearing at the Champions League, but this is a disgrace. He swore.
He's
Prime time
swearing.
TV.
Bruv, your whole podcast called No Behaviour, and you worry about Drogba swearing. Please.
Didn't carry himself in a role model type way or whatever, innit? When he was swearing on
Or
the
when he
camera.
built the hospital. When he built the hospital in Ivory Coast.
So you would say Drogba's the greatest African player of all time then?
If I'm saying if I'm talking, we've got iconic players, we've got great players, we've got bad boy players, whatever that means. Drogba has got it all. Eto'o, technically, ability, great player. He's one of them ones that probably, he's a player's player.
No, because the only thing that Drogba's got over Eto'o is stopping the civil war.
Oh, wow. Is that it?
What?
Massive.
Huh?
That's massive. He used, by the way, it's not just on the side, he used football. End of a game. In fact, the end of one game, he done it on TV, didn't work. Years later, he done it again. In fact, he ran the president and said, yo, move the game to where the rebels are fighting. I want to play the game there. He went there, and then after the game, they won, North, South, come together.
I commend him for that, and they should have gave him a Nobel Peace Prize, yeah? But not a Ballon d'Or, though. Not a Ballon d'Or. Do you get what I'm saying?
I wonder if people think that matters. Like, does that matter when we're talking about the greatest of all time in anything? Does character matter?
Where it helps, yeah, it helps shape public opinion, innit? Because if you've got likability, then you're going to have more people on your side. So that's probably what's going against Eto'o, because he's done a few things that's rubbed you the wrong way. You dislike him, and you don't want to stand up for him.
Not so much rub me the wrong way, like, because I don't care about him that much, but you brought him to
I think
table,
it only matters in public opinion, yeah, but it don't change the facts. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You can't take away his goals, and you can't take away his medals, you can't take away his achievements. So I don't think it's important for me. You know what I'm trying to say? It wouldn't bring him down anywhere, for me personally. Do you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Who do you think is the greatest African player of all time?
George Weah. Again, I'm bringing everything into it, but ability-wise, bruv, the geezer was unreal. Franco Baresi, who's one of the greatest defenders, probably the best man marker of all time, he said that George Weah, like, gets into his 11 every day of the week. And for him to say that when he's played with World Cup winners, European winners, everything, Baresi in it, that made me think, that really made me think, man. And that's when I went and deeped it. I had another look at George Weah. I watched his incredible goal when he ran from his own box. And that wasn't the first time he done that. He'd done that before, years back. He just had it all, man. Head, volley, goals, clutch goals.
He was good, but like I'm saying, you see like his iconicness and him being like almost like one of the pioneers, first African player to win, only African player to win Ballon d'Or and stuff like that, yeah. I think that's what you're holding on it. So he opened the door for a lot of players, yeah. But like you can be the first to do something and you open the door for these guys, you get what I'm trying to say, like, but then other players have come and he's passed the baton to them and they've took it further than he ever did.
Have you changed my mind? Is Samuel Eto'o the greatest African footballer of all time? Yeah. Yeah, he is. But he needed to do more away from it. But I guess the question is, the greatest African footballer of all time? Yes, he is. I tried to bring other stuff to the table because I'm trying to win a debate. But Samuel Eto'o, if he was Brazilian, we'll be talking a lot different of him, man. Well, people, what did you think? Make sure you get involved in the comments. This has been In Defense of with me, Stevo the Madman, and Margs. Brought to you by Joe and BetBall. Ta-da!
You've been watching In Defense of, brought to you by Joe and BetBall.